Hello and welcome to this training. This is how to grow a digital service that transforms clients' lives and sets you free. And if you're looking to increase your service to the world and in exchange receive semi-passive income, I'm truly grateful that you are here watching this out of all of the places you could be on the internet right now. In this short training video, I'm going to share with you the exact steps, principles, and mindsets I've used to grow 6 offers past 6 figures. This training is for you if you feel called to service but need guidance on how to actually be of service, especially online in the digital realm. You have begun your digital service journey and you need help accelerating your growth, or you just want a realistic guide to installing a semi-passive income stream into your life. By the end of this training, you will have tangible steps you can take today, and if you take action, you can take this system and put it to work immediately, meaning that in just a few short hours after finishing, you can be exchanging your service on the internet for fiat currency straight into your bank account. Pretty exciting, right? So my name is Joshua. Here's me in a lovely yellow jumper with my big black 3-year-old Renson Stenson Denson III, my lovely, wonderful Labrador. And I'm sharing this system with you because 8 years ago, when I left the hospital after chemotherapy, all I wanted to do with my freedom was to be useful and get paid well for it. Does that resonate at all? You just want to work hard, be useful, and then get paid well? Well, it did for me, but in truth, I did not know how to actually do that. And I remember saying to one of my early coaches, all I want to do is work hard, help people, and be paid well. And yes, I added, and I want to be able to do that from my laptop anywhere in the world because, well, it's the digital era, so why not? Why wouldn't you want that? So what I'm sharing with you is what I've learned over the last several years finding answers to those questions. And the system, approach, and principles I'm sharing are validated, meaning they work. I've used them to help people like Rich turn his poker knowledge into an academy service that generated over $250,000. Another client partner friend of mine, Ro, used this system to go from, I just have a few clients on the side, to his service being the focus point of his life, and it's attracting $1,400 clients repeatedly. And most recently, my friend and client Kane used this approach to go from, I like to fly drones, to just 9 days later, getting paid $1,500 for his drone service. So before we dive in, I just want to do some expectation management for this training, and I want to let you know that this is a get-rich-quick scheme if we agree on the definitions of rich and quick. So rich to me is when your income is 2 times your monthly outgoings, and preferably in MRR, which means monthly recurring revenue, so it is guaranteed every month. And quick means achieving this in 2 years or less. If this sounds like a get-rich-quick scheme that you want to be part of, please continue on in this training. I also want to get clear that this approach is not fancy, and in the last 7 years of doing this work, I've seen that the keep it simple, stupid is a great methodology. So if you came here looking for a fancy next level special technique, it probably isn't the training for you. Thirdly, and probably most importantly, the real source to success is intangible. You have to be audacious, tenacious, and salacious to see any results in any industry. And in the digital service realm, these are the real factors that influence success more than anything I could show you today. You could have the best system in the world, the best offer, the best service in the whole world, but if you don't have these intangible skills, it's going to be very difficult for you to see success. So these are skills that you have to develop on your own. I just want to let you know that you need them in order to be successful, and no amount of training will ever be able to outwork these intangible assets. Okay, so here's the system. Get your pens ready, get a quick beverage if you need to pause this to get some paper. Please do so because we're about to dive in and there will be lots of notes to take. So step 1 is to establish a service. And the way I like to think about this is that you have a person at A where they are unhappy in an undesirable situation, and then the same person is now at B where they are happy and in a desirable situation. And how did they get there? What caused this transformation? Well, this is service. So when we talk about establishing a service or really being of service to anybody, it's simply the act of moving them from A to B. And then in exchange for this service, they're going to pay you, right? This happens every single day, a gajillion billion times all around the world, that people move from an undesirable situation to a desirable situation. And the goal of this training is to show you how to be of service and make this transformation happen so you can exchange it for fiat currency and live life free on your own terms. So how do we establish a service? Now, there's going to be people watching this that already have an inclination of how they're going to help people. They'll already know, or they may have already started their journey. But if you haven't, And even if you have, these are just great questions that you can ask yourself to establish the service. It's what are you good at? What comes very naturally to you? What can you do better than other people? Secondly, what do you enjoy? And then thirdly, who can you help the most? Because if we are establishing this service, why not play to our strengths? Why not play to doing work that we actually enjoy? And then why not tailor it to the people that we can help the most? That's going to influence our results significantly. So take your time here, write down answers, and really reflect on these questions, because the more you do this, the better you're going to understand yourself. And the better you understand yourself, the better your service will be. Once you have an idea of who you can help, it's time to move on to exactly how you would help them. So what would you deliver to create the desired transformation? And this is where I would suggest you asking yourself the questions: what would you give? What would you do? How are you actually going to create this transformation in your potential client? Is it that you're going to be working with them one-to-one? Is it that you're going to be sharing education? Are you going to be sharing a product? Are you going to be sharing a specific deliverable service? And to give examples of this, say your A is somebody has a hole in their roof and you are a roof fixing expert. Well, what would you give? You'd go to their house and your service would be patching their roof. What would you do? You'd patch the roof. So this is where you need to start thinking about what it is that you're actually going to deliver to create the transformation and ultimately move somebody from A to B in order to get paid. And remember, don't neglect these questions from the previous slide. What are you good at? What do you enjoy? And who can you help the most? Because why not combine these? When thinking about what you actually want to deliver, it's like play to your strengths. I think too many people in this world spend too much of their time doing activities that they're not even naturally good at, that they don't really enjoy, and they're working with people who they can't help the most, and that's largely why they aren't living free on their own terms. So put all of these 5 questions together and really start to think about who you want to help, how you want to help them, and what you want to help them with, because this is how you establish your service. So here are some examples to help you understand this more. We have somebody at A, they are overweight, unhappy, and then B, they're in good shape. They're feeling good, they're healthy. So the service here to actually create this transformation could be education, coaching sessions, diet plans, a workout protocol. Do you see how all of these are working together to create that transformation? And this would suit somebody that likes to educate others, somebody that likes to coach other people, somebody that likes to create diet plans and workout protocols. And this is probably one of the most common services in the world. I think it's top 3 offers of all time weight loss. It's an offer I have active right now for one of my clients, and I'm going to show you in just a minute, but it's a really straightforward one. But using this same framework, you can apply it to whichever service you want to provide to the marketplace. Okay, so once you've established a service and you know who you're going to be helping, how you're going to be helping them, and how you're moving them from A to B, it's time to turn that into an offer. Now, what is an offer? There are many definitions, but the one I like the most is an offer is a statement of terms under which the offerer agrees to be bound. Now, why I like this is because it's all well and good having a service that you've established and you know how you're moving somebody from A to B, but until you actually agree terms that you are going to fulfill on, then you don't really have a deal. And if you don't have a deal, you can't get paid. So you need an offer if you're going to get paid, because once your client signs it, they have to pay you in order for you to deliver the transformation. And it's very important that you write a good offer, because a good offer in itself is going to do a lot of the heavy lifting. And when written correctly, it's going to make your prospective client be like, yes, I need that. How do I start? I want that transformation. So here's how I visualize offers, and this is what's worked for me. So this is how I do it. So we've got the A to B set up here, unhappy, happy. And in the middle is this big raging river. And this is how most clients feel with problems, is they just don't know how to get across. So here's you turning up with your offer. And it is essentially the terms of delivery that you're going to give to this person to move them across these stepping stones that I've just put on the screen here. As you can see, there is 1, 2, 3, and 4 stepping stones. That's how I like to write offers, and I'll touch on that in just a minute. But that's what your terms is. So if you imagine you meet somebody on the side of the river where they're unhappy, they're like, oh, I really want to get to the other side. You make the offer of, hey, I can get to the other side. Here's how I'm going to do it. Here's what we're going to do together. Here's what you get, and here's how much it is. And when somebody agrees the terms of your contract, you start the fulfillment of your service, you move them to the river, rinse and repeat. So this is an offer formula that you can use, and if this looks a little overwhelming, just feel free to pause this video and just digest this, as it's actually very straightforward, and the more that you do this, the better it will get. I'm just going to touch on some important aspects here so you can understand exactly what I mean. So business name is who you're represented by. This could be we, it could be I. The positive verb is the action of how you're actually going to transform people. The avatar is who you're going to help. And remember back on we said in establishing a service, you're going to help a certain somebody move from A to B. That's your avatar. Again, positive verb is how you're going to change them. The problem, undesirable situation, this is just A, where they don't want to be. Another positive verb. And then insert benefits is going to be what they get from using your service, the expected outcome, how they're going to feel at B, what's going to be better there, what they're not going to have to deal with anymore. And then without, the normal solution / unwanted solution. So everybody wants to cross the river. They want to go from A to B, but they don't want to maybe do it in a certain way. They don't want to do it with a solution that doesn't work or is too hard or is too much money or too stressful. And then if you can add in time compression and risk reduction, this makes your offer sound a whole lot sweeter, because people want things sooner and they want less risk. That's human nature. So if you fill in these blanks just from right now, from what you've learned on this video, you will go from establishing a service to having an offer that when potential prospects hear it, they'll be like, ooh, how do I get that? How do I exchange fiat currency money to get this transformation from this offer that this person is promoting and offering to me? What does this actually look like? Well, I can just show you an exact formula that has been validated and proven in the marketplace using this formula. Is that we help poker players. So we, business name, help, positive verb. Poker players is the avatar. Unlock, positive verb. Financial freedom, benefit, by using our proven winning strategy. This is the solution. And then that in itself adds direction. If you met a poker player who wanted financial freedom and a proven winning strategy, they'll be like, oh, that sounds pretty good. Now, if we add in those extra parts that I just spoke about, this offer becomes a whole lot more attractive to a potential client. So it's now, we help poker players unlock financial freedom by using our proven winning strategy without fancy software, also known as the unwanted solution, in 180 days or less, time compression. Our service is $2,000, and if you do not become profitable, we will send your money back. This is risk reduction. So do you see how this has turned an established service of moving from A to B to an actual offer that you could make to people? And if somebody heard this and they wanted to know more, you could agree terms and begin your service. Okay, so once you have your offer crafted, step 3 is to offer your offer. And there are 2 real ways to do this. The first one is an unleveraged way, which still works. And we see people get success with this, especially in the early days. And that's where you find somebody on this side of the river, A, and in this specific example we just used would be unprofitable poker players, which is a lot of them. And you would find them and you would speak to them about your offer. And you would share how it is that you help them. You would share the details of your service, how much they have to pay, the risk reduction, everything we just shared in the previous slide. And you just talk to them manually, one-to-one. This could be done in person. It could be done online through DMs. It could be done anywhere, really, that you find somebody that fits this category. And that obviously you're not going to convert every single person you speak to, but there will be enough people that want to cross that river with you and pay you for your service. At this point of the training, I just want to highlight and emphasize the benefit of just having an offer crafted after establishing a service, because I think a lot of people underestimate how powerful this is. So please try this with me. I want you to imagine that you speak to 100 people and they ask you, what do you do? This is a question that's pretty much guaranteed to come up. It's human nature. We just always ask it. You've obviously been asked it many times before. I want you to think on what would happen if to those 100 people, you just said your offer. That statement that we just came up with, you just said that offer. What do you think is going to happen? Eventually, somebody is going to be interested in your offer, right? It could be somebody directly that you're talking to, or what I notice happens a lot is somebody says, oh, I know Uncle John who needs that exact service. Can I connect you with him? And you say yes, of course. And then you speak to Uncle John and you go through the terms and conditions. But the important part here is that without any more that you take from this training, if you just write an offer and you become this person, who is actively looking for prospects on the wrong side of the river that want to get over here, and you believe you have an approach, a service, a system that gets them there, all you have to do is ask enough people. It becomes a numbers game to a certain extent before somebody's like, yes, I want your service. And this is why an offer, this term of conditions, can unlock a new life for you, because you can exchange your service just through verbal offers like this for thousands of dollars, uncapped income. Unlike a job, obviously, where somebody says, what do you do? Oh, I am an accountant. It's like a fixed salary income. Having an active offer like this in the marketplace means you can uncap your income. It's very, very powerful. So I encourage you to, if you do nothing else from this training, is to go away and write a very compelling offer with all those ingredients and factors I just spoke on, and see what happens in your life when you start to talk to people about it. And remember, I said success requires audacity and tenacity, and that is a large part of it, is owning your offer and then being confident enough to deliver it to people. But it's very powerful. It's very, very powerful. So obviously, that's the unleveraged way, and you're more than welcome to do that. And we have students, and I've had clients that do very well with this, because just through word of mouth, their service gets out and they have referrals, etc., etc. But for me, in the digital world, I would prefer to leverage automation. I want the robots and the machines to do the heavy lifting for me. And if that sounds like something for you, let's move on to step 4, which is to leverage automation. So the first automated system I would strongly encourage you to leverage is a simple sales system. If you don't like the word sales, reframe this to service. You could even call this a simple service system, because that's all sales are. And remember that if somebody is on the wrong side of the river and they want to get to the other side of the river and you sell them something to get them there, they will thank you for it. It is a service to sell. There are, of course, unlimited and infinite types of simple sales systems that you can install that are automated. The one I would recommend is the one that we put all of our students on first, and this is a video to calendar sales funnel. And we do this because it just works. And it doesn't take too long to set up. And all this is really going to do is digitize the conversation you are having with the people on the wrong side of the river. And this is how it looks. So we have the eyeballs. This is the person that would be looking at your offer. This square box represents a website. And I'm going to show you a live example of one of these in just a moment. But then it's very simple components. It's going to have a headline. It's going to have a video here, and then a button that if your prospects click this button, they go through to an automated calendar over here, which means they can talk to you on the phone. And this video is essentially you talking about your offer. And it doesn't have to be a video. It can be written. Actually, it doesn't have to be a video calendar. It could be written post calendar sales funnel. That's up to you. But all this is going to be is exactly what we just spoke about. It could literally be, and we have students and clients that write out their offer, their very compelling offer, and then just talk it out on camera, word for word, verbatim. And then at the end, the button, the call to action at the end is, if this sounds like something you would benefit from, please book a call with us to talk about it more. That's it. Very, very simple. One page, super effective, very versatile, and really can scale ad infinite, because you don't have to keep talking to people one-to-one. You just put them through this automated system and give them all the same information. Stops you repeating yourself. And if you are already in the service world and you find yourself repeating yourself a lot to clients, I would recommend putting in some automation, because you'll go mad talking on repeat otherwise. So once you have that system in place, and I'm going to run you through an example in a minute, I promise, you're going to need traffic or eyes on your offer. Because if you just have this and there's no eyes on it, well, you don't have a system. You just have something that looks cool and doesn't do much. So you're going to need eyes on your offer. This is what we call traffic. Now, just like the simple sales system, I want to show you a simple traffic system. Again, there's infinite ways to do this. This is just what we've seen students have success with and clients have success with. And again, simple is best in my opinion. So I believe that the easiest way to get started in a system like this and to put traffic on your offer is to use content. And this is automated to a certain degree. And this really allows us to leverage the power of the digital realm. Of course, you understand what content is. There's like a bajillion pieces published a day. But what I want to ask is, how many have you published in the last 7 days? Have you ever made content before? Because if you haven't, it's an unbelievable way to get eyes on your offer. And remember that this second part here, this headline, button, video, calendar is already installed. You build this once, and then you just create content that the traffic over here looks at, and then they're like, oh, I want to hear more about that. And then they go to this automated video calendar funnel, meaning you don't have to talk to individual prospects. They just filter themselves through. So you're probably asking, okay, what type of content do I make? And again, infinite options here, but as a first principle, just serve your clients. If you are moving somebody from A to B, create content on how you're doing that. Create content that helps them go from A to B without you. There's so many different ways that you can serve your clients through content, and you may find that you only need 1 to 3 different types of posts in order to get enough eyes on your offer to book calls. But just serve your clients. Don't overcomplicate it, and you'll obviously be testing this as you move forward. As for which platform, again, infinite choice here. And remember, if we were all the way back at the start, we had in establishing your service is playing to your strengths. Same thing applies here. If you're good at writing, write. If you're good at making videos, make videos. If you're good at podcasts and audio and visual voice work, do that. Play to your strengths. Just serve your client and get eyes on your offer. Because the outcome from this system is a calendar of appointments to discuss how you can serve clients. That's its only role. It's not to sell. It's not to do any persuasion or anything like that. Some people have the wrong understanding of what internet marketing is and what these systems actually do. It's just simply a system that takes you out of the equation, in a sense of you don't have to be there talking about your offer 24/7. This system does it for you. That's why it is leveraged. That's why it allows you to live a life of freedom, because you're just talking on these appointments. On these appointments, you'll be talking to people who are on one side of the river and all they want to do is get to the other side. So all you have to do is agree terms and then begin your service. So that's what this system does. The next level of automation and how we can leverage it is to put in automated fulfillment systems. And this is where life really can change a lot for you, because you can actually serve your clients 24/7, 365, anywhere in the world without you being there. And it's really powerful. So the questions to ask yourself for the fulfillment, this is actually what you're going to be doing with clients. It's what assets can you use to serve your clients? What systems can you install to reduce your task list? And what roles can you outsource? If you answer these questions, you will come up with ways to reduce your time input into this system and increase your service outcome. Because if you are not bound to time, it means that you can serve, theoretically, an infinite audience all the time. Your time is limited. You only have so many hours in the week, and you don't want your specific time to be the factor that determines client success. So, of course, like all of this training, you're going to be developing these skills. Your systems will develop over time. And leveraging automated fulfillment systems like all of this is a skill. But as you get good at this, you will realize, wow, I wasn't even there and I just got feedback that one of my clients completely transformed their life and I was asleep. Wow, pretty powerful stuff, right? So it's very important that you factor these questions into your decision-making process whilst you're building out your service. So I want to put all this together and give you examples. These are real world live examples, and we're going to do some walkthroughs too to show you how simple and effective this can be. And let's get into it. So this is the Ginger Poker Academy. This is one of the early offers that we took to market. And the A was, I'm not making money with poker. The B, I'm making money with poker. Very straightforward, right? This doesn't have to be complicated. This transition is very valuable, as you can imagine. If you empower somebody to go from losing $2,000 a month at poker to making $200,000, which we have seen within the academy for what it's worth, that's a very valuable service for people. So that's what we put together. And the service was a 90-minute training video, group coaching, one-to-one coaching, and community. Now, I want you to just quickly look at these. Look at how automated this can be. This video was made once and then broadcast to people all over the world. Didn't need any more editing. Group coaching, meaning that our coaches could serve up to 6 people at once. Again, leveraged fulfillment. One-to-one coaching, this was done in a way that was pretty leveraged, meaning that each client only got a specific amount of minutes of coaching. And then a community, which is another completely leveraged asset where people can learn and grow without the course host actually being there. The system that we used to sell this offer was a video calendar funnel, just like what I just showed you. And this was actually built 4.5 years ago on technology that now seems pretty historic, even though it has only been 4.5 years. But it works so well. And we really got a lot of clients through this funnel that received a lot of transformation. And then how did we get traffic on this funnel? We posted YouTube videos and X posts, which was Twitter back then, actually. But that's all we did, right? We just created content around this offer, put people through the video calendar funnel, got them on calls, spoke to them about their needs, created deals, closed deals, and then started to fulfill the offer. And this says 200 here, but it was actually $250,000. That's a slight typo. It should be 250,000, but either way, a very successful offer that has since been retired for various reasons outside of success. Another example is a weight loss offer. This is live in the marketplace at time of recording. We're currently at $80,000 and rising fast because we've gone through the validation stage. But the A here was hormonal changes that made me gain weight. This is a really big problem, actually a huge problem for women in the world, that when their hormones change, they put on a lot of weight. And then the B is, I've lost the unwanted weight. And I know I gave this example earlier, but this is a multi-billion-dollar industry, this service here. So the service was to obviously help them lose the weight. How do we do that? Well, we combine tests, which is automated and leveraged, consultations. This is the most labor-intensive part of this offer. As you can imagine, working with people's health requires certain one-to-one touch points, but that's what the consultations are for. And the way that we've automated this and leveraged this is by getting in new consultants to help with the workload. We then have a 12-week training video course, again, leveraged, built once, delivered many times, and then again, a community. So do you see how the asset type remains very similar? Because if it works for one offer, the odds are it will work for multiple offers. In the theme of repetition, this offer is also hosted on a video calendar funnel because it works so well. And the way that we're getting eyes on this offer is through Facebook posts, network referrals, meaning past clients. We give them an incentive to refer new clients, their friends. And we've now also just moved into paid advertising. This is not necessary in the early stages. $0 to $25,000 of revenue from an offer typically doesn't need paid advertising because you can do that organically and through referrals. But when you reach a certain income threshold, running paid adverts just makes all the sense in the world because it's almost a guaranteed ROAS, return on ad spend, and you don't have to do any more manual work. But that's usually a couple of phases into the offer. And for most of our students and clients, we direct them to when the right time is for this, but that's what we're doing for this offer. And the last example I want to share is of a drone service. This is one of our academy members, a student who just a few days before joining us was a guy who really enjoyed flying his drone. He was making pretty unbelievable videos. And when I plugged him into the established service, create an offer mindset, he realized, oh, there's so much more I could do with my drone. And he realized that he could move people from A, my business does not have a visual asset to promote my property. And if you don't have a drone, specifically a first-person drone, you don't have this asset type. To B, my business has an asset that promotes my business. This is, again, a very, very powerful asset for businesses to have because it promotes their premises, they get more customers, etc., etc. And our student was able to realize this and then offer that service. His service specifically was a 90-second video of the property, 3 revisions, and then a license for the footage. This is actually what he was going to do. And then obviously this would create a visual asset that the business could use to promote their business. And unsurprisingly, to sell this offer, he used a video calendar funnel because it works, it's stable, it's versatile, it's proven. And then to get traffic onto this offer, he used Facebook posts, network referrals, again, same steps over and over, do the basics well. In this specific example, he just started to post videos on his Facebook of other businesses that he'd made videos for, and then through that, the network referral effect happened, and he was able to close a $1,500 deal in his first 9 days after joining us. So he went from a guy that was just flying a drone to going through the principles, putting it into a system, and then a business was like, I need that. I need that service. How do I pay? Here's how you pay. It's $1,500. Thank you very much. This is a live example of what one of these systems can look like. This is for the exact drone offer that I've been talking about in this video. As you can see, it's got a clear headline for the value proposition for businesses looking to showcase their space, property, venue, or events. Stand out with breathtaking FPV drone fly-through videos. One shot, endless impact. I love that. And then in this video, it is the offer being described, exactly how this service provider delivers value through drones. Here is his portfolio of work, which is consistently added to. And then if somebody is to click book a call, it goes through to this automated calendar, and then they go through to a service call to speak to the provider. So relatively simple, straightforward, but very versatile. And as you can imagine, if you put enough business owners' eyes on this page, there will be a percentage that want the service, book a call, and exchange fiat. Here's another example. This is the weight loss offer that I've been talking about. As you can see, it's got a very clear headline here. It's specifically for perimenopausal and menopausal women struggling with unexplained weight gain. Discover the simple 3-step approach women are using to shed stubborn fat. No strict dieting, HIIT workouts, or fasting required. So this is without the unwanted solution. This again is another video of the offer. Very straightforward, just filmed on a phone. It took this specific gentleman just an afternoon to film this, and will be watched by countless women who he can serve all over the world. And again, very similar setup, testimonials and results from his service. And if you don't have testimonials and results, you'll obviously be building those as you grow your service. And then the exact same setup where if they are to press this button, they get redirected to an automated calendar where they can check out. So to recap this training, the steps that you can take to start exchanging authentic service for uncapped fiat dollars on the internet are as follows. Firstly, you need to establish a service. This means moving somebody from A, an undesirable situation, to B, a desirable situation. And then your delivery will be what you're actually going to do. How are you going to make that happen? What is your service? Off the back of that, it's to craft an offer that outlines your terms and conditions of the services that you will render and how much people can pay you for them. And then from then on, these steps are actually optional, because if you take nothing from this training other than you can establish a service, figure out an A to B, and then create an offer to make it happen, and you can talk to people organically with nothing else, no systems, and start to make money. That's just a fact. It's actually the principles of service that when you move somebody from A to B, they should pay you. That's just the way it is. But if you're smart and you want to leverage the digital world and create leverage in your life, it's to leverage automation to firstly deliver the offer. This is your sales system. This is how you're going to share what it is that you can do and who you do it for, how you do it, and how much it is. I would recommend doing that through a video calendar funnel because it's versatile, very easy to set up, and just performs very, very well for a long time. It's then to leverage automation to deliver the fulfillment of your service. This is going to save you time. It's going to mean that you can serve more people. It's going to mean that you can serve people all over the world 24/7 without you being there. So to decouple your time investment into your client's transformation is very, very advisable. And then from there, it's just rinse, repeat, and scale. And as you put more people through this system, you're going to see that your system's going to improve. You're going to get testimonials. You're going to have more people coming to you. The offer will validate itself, and you're going to pick up momentum. And from there, you can scale this really to whatever level you need to start living free and on your own terms. So that's the end of the training portion of this video. If you feel like you have enough to go out into the marketplace, establish a service, craft an offer, and then leverage automation to sell and fulfill it, I really wish you all the best. The world needs more service providers than ever before. There's going to be clients out there that thank you for your work, and I really wish you luck. I hope that you have taken something from this training that empowers you to take positive action in your life, and I wish you all the best.